Hey everybody, this is Angry Otter coming to you from inside a planet of mine. Welcome to episode number 6. Really appreciate you guys swinging by. You're gonna have to forgive this recording. I forgot to turn on my voice capture device inside of the video recorder on my phone, and as a result, I'm kind of stuck having to do a bit of a voiceover. So this is gonna be a little choppy, but if you bear with me, we're gonna get through this and see if we can't make a little bit of sense of what we're doing here. So basically what we're doing is we're kind of looking around, getting a feel for what all was put in place. You know, I was able to see, as you saw earlier, that I got the school up and running. That means we're going to start getting our ascension a bit faster. I was looking around to see what kind of things can be upgraded, and it looks like I can get an assisted Foundry. It's available on the Foundry in order to actually produce other objects and make it more efficient, right? So efficiency is going to be the key here before too long. But I'm noticing now that I'm not able to upgrade the houses any further than they already are. I could get some more inhabitants, but I need the housing in order to actually create that. So that house was already updated all the way up, or upgraded all the way up to its highest. Same for this one. So upgrades on those two houses are not available, and I could have sworn I actually had a third house. I'm about to notice here shortly that there is a house that's coming around the road to rotate the left-hand side in order to get there. So looking through to see what all is available, I've already got a press, but I don't have an assisted press. And I'm not quite ready to make that leap just yet. Small coal power plant, I believe, is what was going to be needed in actually order to upgrade some of these facilities to be assisted. And I'm going to find out here before too long that I'm right. And right here is where I noticed, hey, guess what? There's a house that I actually needed to have. So I need to actually reallocate one of the inhabitants from the bookmaker over to the house in order to get some more folks in here. And once that's done, I'll just put him back over onto books. In the hopes that I'm going to be able to actually start utilizing that for some faster research points and gathering. So now that the house is finished with the upgrade, we're going to go ahead and move this guy back over to our book press, I believe it is. Looking at this, it's a double well. We're still getting petroleum. I could put another inhabitant on there, but I think right now I'm content with actually just leaving it with one. Looking around, I've got a lot of inhabitants that are starting to create berries. I think I had put on several onto one of the farms there by themselves. This plant nursery is nice because it reduces the amount of pollution and it increases the regeneration speed on the planet, so that means that as you're cutting down things, they're going to replenish faster. And those two inhabitants just came in. That's actually from one of the red berry bushes that came in, or was spawned into the world naturally. So with those two gone, I now have fewer folks working on farms and gathering red berries, which means that before long I'm going to actually start depleting those resources faster. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a spot and select on the farm. I'm going to go ahead and build the farm quick and put those two inhabitants onto the farm. There we go, 1 and 2, in order to actually keep my red berry production afloat. You can see that the red arrow came up at the top to say that the red berries were starting to decrease, and now we're going to be back good to go. I did that again on something else here soon in order to actually clear out some space on some things, because I'm going to start needing some more plots in order to do some more upgrades. Let's see what we got here. So I took that one off of the red berries, and then I ended up deciding that instead of doing that, I can use him in another capacity here, but I need the land space because buildings aren't gonna magically go away or become more condensed. I only have so many spaces and tiles available. So I put it onto the ocean red berry area there with another inhabitant, so we can kind of burn through that hopefully a little bit faster and get those down. I believe you can terraform in this game, so eventually I should be able to, maybe I'll be able to figure it out how to terraform. So, looking at the assisted press, that means that I'm going to be able to be more efficient when it comes to creating paper, which is kind of what I need because my books are lacking behind as far as creation. I don't have the ability to upgrade because I need 10 of this item here. I know what it is now, but what I ended up doing is having to go into the wiki, as you'll see here shortly, and look up what that item was that I needed. So looking under the wiki, going to resources, and I can see that it's steel, right? So in order to utilize or get steel, I actually need to use the Foundry. Going back into the wiki because I had forgotten to look at what I needed. Back under steel, it says Foundries, right? So close out of the wiki, go into the Foundry, and looking at the recipes at the bottom, I can see that I can transform 1 coal and 1 iron into steel. So since I need 10 of those, I have 10 iron, thankfully. I can actually go through and get these 10 iron that I need in order to create this object. Okay. So once I have the ability to upgrade, I'll be able to do that, and then I think it will increase the efficiency dramatically, which is what I kind of want. There's other recipes available. I accidentally did a click there, realized it, and then went back to put it back to steel, because I didn't want to create glass just yet. I have no need for that until I get into some sort of technology. Once we close out of this, we're going to double check on our mines. It looks like that was the mine that actually gave us the 10 iron, which means that there's hope that there could be more. I don't know what the drop chance is or the drop rate. It's something I kind of want to look up to see what the percentage of objects or items available as far as drops from these wells and from the foundries or from the mines. Find out exactly like what the chances and percentages are, just so I know what I'm kind of working against. Let's see here. Getting closer. But because I am an impatient individual, I went ahead and spun it forward so that I wouldn't have to worry about waiting for those 10 items to get done. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade to the assisted press, which is nice. Once that gets completed, shouldn't take but a minute here. Look at our research tree. What we're going to do is, research points are gathering great, but I want to wait until I get to Ascension level 5 before I gather another resource or another research. Only because, one, I don't know what the research option is going to be available, and so I'd like to utilize one of those. Clicking on the assisted press, we now see, okay, we need power, and in order to get power, I need the power plant. The coal power plant I can actually build. I have the right resources and I have a space available, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Create a inhabitant, and I'm going to put that inhabitant over to build the coal power plant. And once this gets done, we'll be able to start generating enough power to power this piece in order to see the efficiency. And you'll see what happens once this is done. You'll see how fast the assisted press is actually going to operate. I think I've been saying associated press, so sorry about that. But you'll see that the assisted press is actually quite quick when it comes into play. The power plant at the base level is going to create 5 power. Each building will consume 1 power once it's done, right? At least at the first level. I think upgrading may change that, but as you can see here, energy cost is going to be 1 there at the bottom. And now that it has it, it's actually creating it quite fast. It's not even getting halfway up the bar before it's actually pushing paper out. So what that means is we're going to have more of a surplus of paper going forward, which is good. That's what we want. That means that we'll be able to create books at a much faster interval, and those books will get to be consumed for research at a much faster pace. Or, I should say, there will be less lag in between the amount of times that we can create a book and the amount of times that that book can be consumed for research, which means that our research points at the bottom are going to increase dramatically, because we won't be missing every other interval type of a thing when it comes to research points. So, from here, we can see that the books are going to do pretty well with the intervals. We have the ability to actually go up to a assisted foundry, but not quite ready for that yet. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and put the foundry back to producing coal for 1 wood equals 1 coal. In the near future, I think we're going to go ahead and upgrade that one since we have enough power to go along with it. Looking at the double mines, everything seems to be pretty much in order for this here. This one has not produced any iron, and I'm going to be needing other resources before too long. Let's see here. Double mine, yep. No iron yet. I've got an inhabitant, and I think I need to figure out what to do with him here in a little bit. going to go ahead and put him onto the red berry plant here with all the other 3. Try to burn through them. I change my mind. Put him over onto the one on land because until I figure out how to terraform, I'm going to need the extra plot for more building space, etc. So that's turned red, and it's going to fight against the regeneration rate here a little bit, but that's alright. We're nearing the next research level, but we're only about halfway to Ascension level 5. I think we're going to go ahead and call it here. I don't think there's anything else that I ended up doing. I think I looked through the research, kind of determined that there was nothing in the research currently that I really cannot live without just yet. I had toyed, I think, with the idea of kind of going against the enemies since I've got a land plot that's about to open up and I can create one of the defenses for the planet. I might try the war system just to give it a go, because we're almost at the halfway point here at 150 turns to go. I can increase my ascension rate significantly if I actually upgrade the small museum to the large museum, but that requires 10 gold, and I have not actually come across any gold yet from my mines, nor is there a recipe in the Foundry, as you saw. So those 3 just cleared out the lot of land. We're going to go ahead and just plop them onto the ocean one. Maybe we'll figure out terraforming here before too long. Who really knows? We're going to give it a go. But really appreciate you guys stopping by and having a look. I think I'm just going to let this guy kind of run out until about turn... I think it stopped at right around turn 150, 149. And we'll pick it up again at the next episode. Hopefully I'll remember to hit record so I don't have to go through this. This has actually been... instead of a 10-minute or 13-minute video as you guys are watching, this actually ended up being about a 45-minute process just to do the voiceover to get it to kind of match right and look decent. I only have... That's right, I think... I saw that I only had 1 wood chopper, and I think I ended up putting an inhabitant onto that wood plot, but regardless. So really appreciate you guys stopping by and taking a look. Really appreciate any comments you may have. Any questions for myself, the game, whatever, put them down below. If you want to subscribe to keep track of when I upload, go right on ahead and do so. I really appreciate any feedback. Otherwise, really appreciate you guys stopping by. Hope you're all well. Bye.